soccer players in the United States?
Oh wait, what? Wait. It's not working.
Okay. So this is like what they have now is the training calendar for U6 to U10. So as you can see, they have 2 practice days or training days, and then a match at the end of the week. And as the kind of the month goes on, they increase games. So they'll like have a pickup game instead of a training day. So that's just kind of how you see like a U6 U10.
Next we have like U12, U14, and instead of 2 training days, it's now 3 training days, and they now add a tournament once a month. Yeah, it's just the only difference.
Okay, so as you're getting to U16 and U18, players should be reaching their full potential and their abilities. So as you can see, they have something almost every day now. So there's 3 or 4 training days a week with a match at the end of the week. And then there's regeneration training since there's from the week before, and then there's specialty training twice a week on Wednesdays.
Next we have the training session to match ratio. So at like U6, which is about the youngest age, you do 1 training session to 1 game, which is 45 minutes each. And then once you get up to like U16, U18, it's gonna go from like 4 or 5 training sessions to 1 game, because you're gonna want to be focusing more on your training and then it's a game.
Okay, so there's different training goals for each age group. So for like the younger grades at which is the fundamental stage, so like 6 to 8, 6 to 9, you're gonna want to focus on the learning fundamentals of the game. But as you get up into the 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, you're gonna be working on your fitness, just working on your tactical skills, your technical skills, and your abilities. So you're not going to be so much learning the game anymore. It's going to be adapting to new situations and just refining your skills.
Okay, so now we have the touches on the ball. So when you're 5 or 6 years old, you are gonna want to do about like 120 touches a day, and then 800 touches per session, and then that's kind of gonna stay consistent through U16, U18, 800 touches per session, and then over a total of 3 years, once you get up to like U16, U18, you're gonna want to be getting around 576,000 per year, which then would lead to a total by the 18 of 2,352,000.
Okay. So
So with coaching, there's going to be like 4 complementary components. The first one is tactical, and this component helps a player fit into the team, and the aim is to create clever players capable of advancing or adapting to the constantly changing game. So during soccer, every game is not going to be the same. So with each game, you're going to need to adapt to the situation.
then the next coaching component is technical, and all players on the team have individual competent proficiencies in different areas. So for example, a central midfield player will need to have different skills from a forward or a defender. Since they're different positions, you're looking to distribute the ball from the midfield, but as forward, you're going to be looking to score.
And then next you have physical, and strong and resilient players will provide a significant advantage to the team. A tired player will struggle to think properly and is prone to commit more errors. So the more like physical shape and how like strong you are is going to help your team. Like if you're not strong on the ball, you're not going to do as good.
And then the final component is psychosocial. So each player is prone to different emotions throughout a game, and you want to teach them how to turn those emotions into a positive. So within a practice schedule, you're going to want to work on those emotions so the players know how to adapt to those different environments in a game. Okay, so some coaching concepts. You want to have your players, so when you're planning out your team and your concepts, you want to focus on periodization. And by this, they mean at the beginning of the year, you're going to want to focus on getting the players into shape, having some fun, building a team chemistry. Whereas later in the year, when games and matches are happening, you're going to want those practices to be more focused on what went wrong in those games and how can you fix them and make your team all around better.
Next, you're going to want to peak at your championship time. So at the beginning of the season, you're going to be working on like physical shape and like your tactical touches and stuff. And then it's okay if you lose a game here and there because it's just the beginning of the season. But once you get to the end of the season, you're really going to want to focus on winning the game and doing the rest of the game.
Okay, then short-term and long-term goals, you want to have both. You don't want to just focus on winning this game in particular. You want to be focused as well on developing and having long-term goals. So to win these games, you want to get to this turn. You have to win these games to get to those tournaments would be a long-term goal.
Next, you have the rhythm of training, which is kind of you want to get like the same routine each training session. So beginning of the training session, you want to do the same warm-up, same way to get ready for the training session, and then after that, it's going to switch up a bit, but for the most part, you want to have like the same routine.
And then tournaments must be few and far between. Tournaments are pretty grueling on a player. You don't want to push them too hard and have too many tournaments back to back, and not give them enough time to regenerate and rest up and heal any injuries that may have occurred.
Okay.
Okay. So principles of play. Those are just ones you want to focus on to better your team for games. So the first one, all players attack and all players defend. If one player is not defending or one player is not attacking, your team's not going to work. They all have to be working as one unit to be successful.
The next is numerical advantage. So to be able to advance and to score, you are going to want to have like more players up the field as you score.
Okay, so the flow of the ball. You want to keep the ball moving around the field. Don't let the defense catch up. So you don't want to be holding the ball for too long, which will delay your team and let the other team get to their defending position.
Next, you have the triangle principle and passing options. So when you're playing, you kind of always want to have some people in like be the shape of a triangle because then you have options to either go pass it backwards, pass it forwards, pass it across. So you always have an option.
Okay, movement off the ball. You want to be moving, giving your teammates some options for you to give to them.
Pressure as a unit. If you're not pressuring all together as one, you're not going to be doing. It's not going to go right. Something's going to go wrong.
Okay, so transition. That's kind of similar to numeric advantage. You want to be moving with the ball and your team. You want to be in sync.
Direction of the game. For the most part, you're going to go forward. You're going to want to go forward because that's how you score. But there's going to be times where you have to pass it backward in order to go forward.
And take initiative during the game. You want your players to be in charge out there. The coach isn't going to be out there telling them constantly what to do. The players need to be able to adapt and work into the situations.
So next we have a quote from Alfonso Mondello, he's a major league soccer and director of player development. So he said the problem in the U.S. is they start travel soccer at too early an age. That's totally detrimental. It becomes more about winning and about collecting hardware and about having the kids play and learning from playing.
Okay, so Germany, the Germans won the World Cup this year, and their program was in ruins even back a couple years ago. But how they got back on top was they built world-class facilities in which they had full-time coaches. They donated or put in $15.6 million, and they required their professional teams to have academy teams. So basically, they really invested in their soccer program, which really pushed them over the top and made them the best in the world. Okay, so then we just had a couple thoughts on what we think. I thought as we need to bring in coaches and players from overseas who have that winning experience and know how to get their teams to the top, like we did with we're bringing in Jurgen Klinsmann and we're bringing in German players. But we also need to go to these winning countries and watch how they train, watch how they develop their players, so we can incorporate that into our system and hopefully get us back to the top.
Yeah, I agree with Eric. I think one of the big things that we need to do is go and watch and see how the other countries are playing, because it's clear that they have been better than us in the past years, and I think it'd be to our benefit to go and watch and learn from them and then come back and do
If I could have your attention for announcements.
We just have
for
the governing
Wednesday,
bodies
December
for the United States
10th,
is the United States
2014.
Soccer Federation, and then
Attention
under them
winter
there are
sports
professional
athletes.
teams which
They will
govern the
be
academy.
taking the winter sport photos at 10:45 a.m. and the info at